What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about strict pull-ups, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the exercises I have been doing to get my strict pull-ups. So in a couple of videos ago, I'll have it linked above if you guys haven't seen it, I said within the next year, I really want to work on my strict pull-ups. This is going to help me with my chest to bar and my bar muscle ups and really a lot of things overall. And so this has been a really big focus of mine, and I wanted to share some of the exercises with you guys. Now, by all means, I'm not saying that these are the exercises you have to do. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of these exercises already, but if you haven't, maybe you guys can see some new ones, see some, different ones that you guys can do in the gym, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. I will also have other resources linked down below. You guys can go check it out. I love WOD Prep. They have really great videos. I'll have it all linked down below and you guys can go check it out. These are some of the resources that I've taken great inspiration from, so I'll have that linked down below. All right, so before we get into the exercises, number one, I just wanted to say, I know banded pull-ups is a really big thing for people saying to get your strict pull-ups, but a lot of times it works, but it doesn't work, in my opinion. I think it's a great tool, but I don't think it's something that you should solely rely on. I think a lot of people solely rely on banded pull-ups, and I think they do help, but I don't think you should solely rely on them. So I'm not going to mention banded pull-ups in my exercises, what I do, because I don't think they're super effective. I also wanted to say I spend 10 to 20 minutes at the end of my workouts doing these exercises. I'll do this like 3 to 4 times a week, really depending on my workouts. I know my body pretty well, and I know when I'm way too tired and I'm not going to execute the exercises properly, then I won't do it. But if I know that I can execute these exercises properly, then I'll do it, kind of thing like that. So I really play off how my body feels after the workout and really just see how my body is feeling. So, maybe if you're new to this, maybe try a couple times after your workout. It varies for every single person, but for me personally, I do it 3 to 4 times. I'm trying to be very rigorous at this. I'm trying to really obtain this goal as fast as possible because I just want to gain that overall upper body strength, and it has been making a huge impact on my upper body strength. I have noticed quite the difference in my upper body strength. So let's just get on to the exercises and let's get on to talking about them. Also, I'm not gonna, go into super great detail on how to execute this exercises properly. I'm just gonna share the exercises that I do because really each exercise could be a whole video within itself. So let's get into the exercises. So the first exercise, I don't know the name of it, but I know how to do it. If I find the name, I will put it here. If I don't, then this is the no-name exercise. So what I do is that I line the floor face down. You can either put a towel or like a shirt or something like that on your forehead if you just don't want to put your head on the ground. As you guys can see in the video, I'm kind of keeping my head up because the gym floor is kind of disgusting and I don't want my face super close to that floor where people have drip sweat, kind of thing like that. So I know it's not the best thing to keep your head up like that, but for me, just gotta do it. Anyways, so what I do is I take 2.5 pound plates. They're very lightweight. You want to keep this very lightweight. You don't want to go heavy. You want to make sure that you're doing the exercise properly, obviously. So what you do is you lie on your stomach, keep your head kind of relatively down. And what I do is I put my arms into 90-degree angles and I will retract back. So I'll just retract my shoulder blades back, kind of like you're pinching your shoulder blades back. Similar to a row, the same motion of a row, you're kind of doing the same motion back. And you're going to kind of hold the plates, and then you're going to lift them off the ground, you're going to hold them there, and then you're going to bring one arm straight above your head and then back down. This is just something that kind of warms up my back, helps me start engaging the muscles in my back, and just makes me feel like I'm, strengthening the little muscles in my back, if you know what I mean. Regardless if you're doing a strict pull-up or anything, this is just a really great exercise for upper body strength. After that, we move on to a couple other exercises that are just warm-ups for me. The first one is a scapula retraction. So this is very important for like the beginner exercises of a pull-up. It's a very small movement. So I will jump on the bar, and this will also help with getting your hands used to the bar and also just helping with your grip strength. This will all kind of help with your grip strength, but this I find does help a lot. And you're just gonna hold the bar and you're gonna do like a small retraction. You will see it's just a very light movement and a very small movement. It's just going up and down, up and down. And I'll do that about 10 times for like 3 sets or something like that. And I'll just, kind of do that little motion because that is the start of a pull-up. So you want to just get that little scapular retraction. This is really great exercise to help with the start of your pull-up and just, you know, kind of help you get used to that motion. Anyways, this will also help for other exercises that we're gonna do. After that, I also like to do monkey swings. This isn't necessarily for a strict pull-up. It just helps with my grip strength, and it also just helps me warm up my shoulders and warm up my body. So a lot of times if I do a workout and I haven't done any bar work and I wanna warm up my bar work when I'm practicing my pull-ups, I'll just do some monkey swings, keep them controlled, keep them kind of, you know, not too outrageous, and keep my shoulders engaged and everything like that. So just like to add some monkey swings in there as a little bit of a warm up. All right, moving on to the first exercise. I like to do kind of like a chin up chest to bar, I guess you can say, because just doing a regular chin up is a bit easy for me, but I like to bring my chest to the bar, but we're actually going to be seated on the ground. So I like to bring the bar about like rib cage height up from the ground, and then I will sit on the ground, grab the bar, and I will do chin-ups. For me personally, I will show you guys, I have very rounded forward shoulders. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my shoulders are very rounded forward, whereas like most people have rounded back shoulders, whereas mine are very like rounded forward. Like this is like a natural position for me, whereas you want to have your shoulders more rounded back. So if you guys know that you have rounded forward shoulders, you guys know that feeling. Anyway, so this is just something that helps open up my back. This is also a great exercise to help open up your back, open up your shoulders if you want to work on getting your chest to bar, because it will help open up your chest. But this is also another exercise that I'd like to personally do because I hurt myself 3 years ago in cheerleading. I like tore my muscle there. I just like really destroyed my elbow. So doing a chin up is very sensitive on my elbow, and I am very, very weak in that position. And so I like to do this exercise in a very slow tempo kind of work. And it really just helps me strengthen, you know, my arms, my elbow, and my back in this position. I know the pull-up is not in this position. It's not normally in this position. I'm not teaching you guys how to do a chin up, but this personally is an exercise that really helps me open up my back and, you know, gain a bit more strength in my weaker position. So I will do this tempo. You guys will see when I'm in the bottom, I'm doing the scapular retraction and then going up. And then I'll just continue that. I'll do that mostly in most of my exercises. When I'm seated, you'll see that small scapular retraction, the little up, and then I will go all the way up. So I usually bring my chest all the way to the bar because it's a bit more challenging for me than bringing just my chin over the bar. So sometimes some people, when they do this, it'll be a bit harder, so they'll bring their chin over the bar, where for me personally, it's the chest is a bit more challenging, I guess you can say. So this is just a weaker position for me, but it does help me and it helps me strengthen some muscle. So, you know, if you just want to work on your upper back, try it, see how it feels. I know this isn't like exactly for getting your pull-up, but this just helps me and it could help you. After that, we are going into the actual pull-up motion. Instead of just doing the chin up, we're doing the pull-up. So we're just reversing our hands around, we're staying seated on the floor, and we're doing the pull-up. So it's the same thing. You grab the bar, you see the small scapular retraction, you go up and you go down. You don't want to do these too fast. If you're literally repping them out, then there's really no point in doing the exercises. You really want to make sure that you're going slow, you're taking your time going up, you're taking your time going down. You really want to make sure it's tempoed. This is what is going to help you get your strength. No matter what, if you're doing an exercise way too fast and way too hurried, and I know a lot of times in CrossFit we tend to do that. We tend to do things very fast, and we need to make sure our muscles are strong to do those fast movements. So we need to take time, you know, doing the movements slow and strengthening those muscles to be able to do it fast. Anyways, we do the same thing as the chin up. We just reverse our hands and we do the pull up. Then we move on to the next step to make it a little more challenging, and we put our feet on a box. I put mine on a bench just a little bit off the ground. It doesn't have to be super high, but you want to make sure that your legs are pretty solid in this. I've noticed that when my legs are not as solid, I tend to use my legs a little bit. And it's also just like a little more awkward to do the movement if your legs aren't super solid. So what you want to do is put your feet on the box, you know, put your heels up there, and you want to make sure that your legs are tight. You don't want to have soft knees, because then you start using your legs more than your upper body. And you do the same thing, scap retract and pull up and then go down. You want to try and keep this as controlled as possible. Obviously, I'm still working on that because this is still a bit of a weaker movement for me, and I will kind of do this a bit fast, but I need to work on keeping it controlled, keeping it slow, you know, all that jazz, tempoed. It's all in the works. And so this is a movement that has really been helping me in a lot of my pull-up progression, is just really keeping this as tempoed as possible and not going too fast. And it makes it a bit harder with your feet raised, it really does. And then after that, we move on to doing negatives. And I think this is like the #1 exercise to do to getting your pull-ups. It is like a game changer. So obviously negatives, you want to start with your chin over the bar and then slowly go all the way down, and then repeat that. So what I do is I get up on a box, I get my head over the bar, I'll hold myself, and then I'll slowly want to control it all the way down. And I mean, when you first do this, it is not controlled, but you want to practice that. So sometimes I think a band does help with this. Helps kind of keeping in control if you don't have the upper body strength right away. But in this workout, you will really see where your weakness is. And I think it's so important to kind of film yourself doing exercises in the gym, not in an egotistic way, but in a way to see your progression, to see if you're doing things properly. So if you guys film this and you guys watch yourself, because you guys will see in me, I have some weak points where I go a lot faster and it's not controlled. So I'll have control in the first part and I'll start descending, and then you'll see at some points in the right past like the middle down, I will have like no control there. So that is my weak part. So if you film yourself and you see where you're like completely dropping and not able to control, you'll see that's where you're really weak. So that's what's really nice about negatives, is you'll see where you are weak. And obviously negatives is the same motion of doing a pull-up, it's just the opposite direction obviously, but that's really going to show you where you're weak in your pull-up. Really, that is really what I like about negatives, is going very slow, trying to keep it controlled and going all the way down. And like I said, you'll see where you're kind of weak, but you'll also gain a lot of strength by doing this exercise. This exercise is so beneficial, and a lot of people skip this over because they think, oh, why bother practicing a negative? But honestly, negatives are so important for the pull-up progression because it just helps your pull-ups tremendously. So practice your negatives, it does make a huge difference. All right, so that's pretty much the exercises that I do for my pull-up progression. I do a lot of other exercises outside of this, but this is pretty much the main core of exercises that I do for my strict pull-ups, and these are the ones that I kind of practice on a regular. And once in a while, I'll do some accessory work and add in different exercises here and there to help strengthen my upper body. But honestly, these are the exercises that have been helping me for my strict pull-up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have an exercise that helps you guys with your strict pull-ups, let me know down below. I would love to hear. And if you guys like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It truly helps the channel, helps me grow and all that jazz. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Cold inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drink your night.